And that's your cue.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to HMV in Westfield. My name is the only Emperor. I'm a poet, please. I'm a poet producing sights and sounds to showcase their words to the world. I've got a 45-minute set. I shall repeat that. 45 golden minutes of music and poetry and maybe a few accidents along the way if you're very lucky. Please feel free to listen to me, to listen to the music, to look at the screen, to look into each other's eyes and fall in love, whatever you need to do to get through the day. I believe I am all ready. My first song is what old Father Earth asked of his daughter. My daughter, come and play. No, my father, I cannot stay, but I have built a world for you. I'm sorry, father, it will not do. But what of the trees that dance in the breeze? I'm sorry, father, they will not please. Well, what of the cave where sprites rave? I am sorry, father, I do not crave. Then I will rumble and I will quake. I will destroy and I will unmake. I will cave in and I will tear down. I will burn and I will drown unless, oh child, oh daughter, you stay. Oh no, my father, not even a single day. Or what of the stream where fish strobe and beam? I am sorry, father, I am not keen. Then tell me, child, what do you need? What can I make to keep your seed? I am sorry, father, I need the sky where my mother is free to fly. I need the sea where sisters drift. I need the mist where grandmothers sit. Then I will rumble and I will quake. I will destroy and I will unmake. I will cave in and I will tear down. I will burn and I will drown unless, oh child, oh daughter, you stay. Oh no, my father, not even a single day. It is not you. You are not to blame. But father and daughter are not the same. You build on earth and you call it home. My kin and I must rove and roam. Then I will rumble and I will quake. I will destroy and I will unmake. I will cave in and I will tear down. I will burn and I will drown unless, oh child, oh daughter, you stay. Oh no, my father, not even a single day. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That was my first song.
Carry on.
Thank you. The lady is very enthusiastic. I'm glad she's in the front. Thank you very much for listening so far. Only another 41 minutes to go. Isn't it nice to be here in Westfield? It is, isn't it? Thanks. Thank you very much. I got you into the door. That's just perfect. Great stuff. I'm not on commission, unfortunately. Okay, folks. My next song is...
Right.
Please say hello to Buddy. How are you?
Good.
Thanks so much for coming.
YouTube now.
When he barked an articulate thank you after having his helmet removed, given a scratch behind the ears and told what a good boy he was, the room erupted with gasps and cries and tears. The next few days were a mix of treats and tests. Every letter stated a biscuit, every noun named a belly rub, every complete sentence another squeaky toy added to the pile. They asked him simple maths questions, and he gave them the meaning of infinity. Buddy came back from outer space, and Buddy could talk. Buddy came back from outer space, and Buddy could talk. They showed him a diagram of the human body, and he deciphered every part, cured every illness. They asked him if there was a God, and he whispered a truth. A month later, the first interview with cameras and microphones in his collar, they asked about his life, how it had changed, what space was like, what he wanted to tell the human race. Buddy came back from outer space, and Buddy could talk. Buddy came back from outer space. Good boy, Buddy. And Buddy could talk. Buddy said, my best friends, don't let fleas eat away at our skin. Throw sticks, not balls. I'm happy with scraps. Keep the air clean for our walks. Check puddles I jump in are just water. Let's play together, not dogfight. For I've seen Earth as a blue droplet in a vast bowl, and it is beautiful. Buddy came back from outer space, and Buddy could talk. Buddy came back from outer space, and Buddy could talk. Buddy came back from outer space, and Buddy could talk. Buddy came back from outer space, and Buddy could talk. Please say goodbye to Buddy. We may never see him again. Anyone know the Russian dog Latka that's sent into space? Didn't end very well. Anyway, so thank you very much. This is my third song.
I know about that.
A great start, thank you.
It didn't end well, no.
No, it did not. So I am I'm just in the way of the L. Why don't I move out completely out of the way? I am the only emperor. Please do check me online. If you happen to record any photos or videos, share it online, hashtag the only emperor band. You may stand a chance of winning handwritten, signed lyrics that might be worth something in the future. I cannot guarantee, they probably won't. But anyway, my next song, ladies and
I like your
gentlemen.
honesty.
Thank you, I do try.
No, you're good. You're good.
Please welcome the Woodsman.
Wow.
He was mostly made of sticks and leaves, among other forest features, and you found them rootless, a crow exploring his innards. We took him home, propped him up in a warm leather armchair, and rearranged his crown of yellow and brown. He wasn't much of a talker, so we just listened to his rustling, though a strange kind of wisdom seemed to emanate out from acorn eyes and almond brow. But when he was angry, his nostrils flared up like pine cones on fire. We loved him for his truth, loved his down-to-earth ways, and how we breathed in what he breathed out. A slow existence, symbiotic and silent, where he breathed in what we breathed out. We tried to dress him in silks and velvet, but he preferred to go au natural, which meant that any company invited round had to be warned, just in case bare bark and tea-petaled flowers embarrassed our city friends more used to plastic tulips and paintings of trees. The second to worst day was when the dog got out and wrestled him to the ground. tore at his timber heart, and chewed on log limbs. We soothed the bite marks with walnuts, rubbing the gashes until level, and only a lighter shade than his autumn-tinged skin. We loved him for his truth. We loved his down-to-earth ways, and how we breathed in what he breathed out. A slow existence, symbiotic and silent, where he breathed in what we breathed out. And then lightning struck, who knows, a cigarette, or candle, or wall plug, but with backs turned, he was gone. Black flakes stained the couch as embers cried, then cooled. We put him on the compost heap, though our youngest kept a twig, a shriveled sprout pointing downwards in a glass jar. We loved him for his truth. We loved his down-to-earth ways, and how we breathed in what he breathed out. A slow existence, symbiotic and silent, where he breathed in what we breathed out. We loved him for his truth. We loved his down-to-earth ways, and how we breathed in what we breathed out. A slow existence, symbiotic and silent, where he breathed in what we breathed out. Thank you very much, folks. 3 songs in, magic 3. So, yes, as a reminder, for those of you that have only just turned up, where were you? Been waiting for you. I am the only emperor, poet, producing scientist out to showcase the words of the world. Please do check me out online. My next song is whatever is on the playlist. Echophenomena. Answers on a postcard. On the train, someone yawned. I wasn't tired, but I also yawned. On the bus, someone smiled. I wasn't happy, but I also smiled. On the boat, someone screamed. I wasn't scared, but I also screamed. On the underground, someone shouted. I wasn't angry, but I also shouted. In the crowd, I saw the tired, unhappy, scared and angry, hurt and lost and dying, run for their lives, and I also ran. On the road, someone cursed. I wasn't hurt, but I also cursed. On the plane, someone prayed. I didn't believe, but I also prayed. In the crowd, I saw the tired, unhappy, scared and angry, hurt and lost and dying, run for their lives, and I also ran. On the funeral march, someone cried. I was alive, but I also cried. In the crowd, I saw the tired, unhappy, scared and angry, hurt and lost and dying, run for their lives, and I also ran. In the crowd, I saw the tired, unhappy, scared and angry, hurt and lost and dying, run for their lives, and I also ran. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening, folks. I am going to pause it just for 5 or 10 seconds between the songs. You're welcome. For a little sip. I promise it's just water. Believe that. Oh. Thank you very much. Words from the wise. The next song is The Disconnected Became Connected.
Interesting.
First, we told them to look at the other, to watch as pupils dilated, light in the iris reflected, where on the spectrum they rested, how crow's feet shorn or lengthened, how eyelids raised or lowered, how bloodshot fibers danced, and how we drowned in tears. And then it happened, as always, they argued, tore apart, the connected became disconnected. And then it happened, as always, they argued, tore apart, the connected became disconnected. Second, we told them to hold hands, to measure the length, width of each finger, to follow the lines, see where they go, to pull at the skin with the knuckle, to watch it slowly return to bone, to tap the wrist, feel their veins throb and pulse, and then it happened, as always, they argued, tore apart. That's for you. The connected became disconnected. And then it happened, as always, they argued, tore apart, the connected became disconnected. Third, we told them to hug, to warm their chest with the others, to wrap their arms around the others, to squeeze until breath met breath, a slow dance, proximity and personal space, made communal and one. And then it happened, as always, they argued, tore apart, the connected became disconnected. And then it happened, as always, they argued, tore apart, the connected became disconnected. Well, finally, we had enough. We tangled hair, grafted skin, merged skulls, web bodies, two hearts simpatico, sharing blood and thought. It was such a success. It was suggested we do the exact same thing to the whole world. The disconnected became connected, 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 the disconnected became connected. Did I miss anything? No. Yes, it's all on that list. Thank you very much, folks. Whatever is next is next. Thank you very much. Have a good day. This is called Wild White Face, and I hope it's someone you never meet. Down by the river, where the trees all bow, they pitched a fun fair there, where the rusted gates foreshadow the fate of a hare in a snare, where the skelter climbs 1,000 times in the tolling chime. Oh kid, you thought you'd handle all of those stairs, round the twister, swung by swinger, down the skyfall, up the stairs. Snapping tickets at the stall is a suited disgrace. A smile cracked open on his wild white face. A smile cracked open on his wild white face. He'll show you all the sights, whisper secrets, all his hints and tips. He'll guide you through the crowd, pick you up when you're knocked down or tripped. He'll take you off to the sides, rearrange your insides, and all you'll do is scream and holler that you want more. He's a corpse, he's a ghoul, he's a seer, he's a mystic. They scrawl his name all over this place. His wide eyes rolling in his wild white face. His wide eyes rolling in his wild white face. You think they go too high? He'll help you up. You think they go too far? He's got teacups. You feel like you're gonna be sick. You feel like you've been kicked. Our kids, you know he's got you something to suck. Here's some candy, here's some apple, here's some whiskey for your cup. Here's a reflection, twists and warps all the time and space as a cackle echoes out from his wild white face. As a cackle echoes out from his wild white face. You'll find him next year in this field, but sooner than that, in the shadow, in the corner of your room, in the purr of a black cat. You'll find him under your sheets, in the wireless hum. Hey kid, I'm begging you, please don't turn it up. He's a corpse, he's a ghoul, he's a seer, he's a mystic. We're just embryonic rats in his diabolic race. Announced and narrated by his wild white face. Announced and narrated by his wild white face. A smile cracked open on his wild white face. His wide eyes rolling in his wild white face. A cackle echoes out from his wild white face, all announced and narrated by his wild white face. A smile cracked open on his wild white face. His wide eyes rolling in his wild white face. A cackle echoes out from his wild white face, all announced and narrated by his wild white face. Mask doesn't suit me. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. So, welcome for those that have just joined us, travellers from afar. My name is the only Emperor, Luigi Coppola, poet producing sight and sound to showcase their words to the world. A few have heard that 3 or 4 times, but tough. This is, in a way, a final song, but it's not quite. You're not that lucky. Wait a second. This is the Upside Down Man. Next to the lost dog posters and terror flyers for Will's house party, we found him. Up against the lamppost, no prop or pillow, just bare crown on cracked concrete. The strain on his face, the blood settling at the brow, the tension in the neck, the constant pressure of staying straight along his thin, trembling form. That morning, we stared, but didn't stop. That afternoon, we thought of saying something. Reporting it maybe, though. What crime was it to want a different view? The second day you nudged me, we placed ourselves parallel to him. A reversed image, the control, the norm. Him, a mirror, wronged in time. I imagine him hung upside down in a cell, a bat, trapped in daylight. The world at his head, and the sun at his feet. Are you okay? Yes. Do you need help? No. Are you sure? Yes. Each crystallized response taught under self-imposed inversion. Why are you upside down? Why aren't you? We left him to it. But on the third day, the police came. I imagine him hung upside down in a cell, a bat, trapped in daylight. The world at his head, and the sun at his feet. We watched from across the street as the police questioned, asked, ordered, then took matters into hand, dragged him back 180 degrees. He begged to be left alone, pleaded to be put back, screamed and clawed like a child strapped to a chair. And then they took him away. We never heard of him again, but I imagine him hung upside down in a cell, a bat trapped in daylight. The world at his head and the sun at his feet. I imagine him hung upside down in a cell, a bat trapped in daylight. The world at his head and the sun at his feet. Thank you very much. Okay, last song before a change. This is the art of keeping your distance. First, learn to hold your breath. Learn to hold your breath for the rest of your life. Learn to love the taste of safe air. First, learn to hold your breath. Let unknown voices be smothered by the known ones that we recovered. The chatter of escaping ravens from the crumbling towers, that all will soon return to dust. Second, double the length of your phantom limb and hold it out parallel to him. Second, double the length of your phantom limb. Let unknown voices be smothered by the known ones that we recovered. The chatter of escaping ravens from the crumbling towers, that all will soon return to dust. First, learn to hold your breath. Second, double the length. Third, develop a stare so that all will soon return to dust. Let unknown voices be smothered by the known ones that we recovered. The chatter of escaping ravens from the crumbling towers, that all will soon return to dust. Let unknown voices be smothered by the known ones that we recovered. The chatter of escaping ravens from the crumbling towers, that all will soon return to dust. Return to dust. Return to dust. Return to dust. Here comes the dust.
For dust you are.
A new crop of the masters fly, afraid of heights. There's a boy with the power of bubbles. There's a girl with an array of subtle gadgets. They have strength in the idea of night. Control disorder, increase the essence. Principles confront like dealing with a rolling city, taking care of its homeless. Encourage them to keep finding, teaching, observing, testing, investigating, predicting. We are born into this world knowing these struggles to learn how to include, how to show a message of problems. Don't question the expert, and the expert will ask how to do things. We have done everything from these kindnesses. The adults in question, I think they tease it out. How often is it shown in real life? A fleshed out sense. It's just a kind of organic way, I guess. For the most part, it's not the focus at all with just a few specks in the crowd. Something that they just can't see. And that is why we thought about our needs, our desires. Hey! One part of the search is lost empathy. To normalise the different, it's make know how. With a few adjustments, an enemy can become a friend. Design platforms, run with vibrant eyes, run with colours that clash with fists. Mister, enough jokes, enough misunderstanding. Give us a sign of might. Pick up those that don't notice that there is a place for us all. We may be different, may have different needs, may have different lives, we may live in different skins, but there is a place for us all. We have directly addressed the time, and we find it wanting. Right, let's bring it. Thank you very much. The dust continues to settle, but let's bring it down a bit. This is candles. We started with a ceiling light. Switched to the highest wattage, the clearest glass, the biggest bulbs, tearing down the shades until unobstructed light could reach our hungry eyes. Windows hung naked. No curtains, no nets, no blinds. We must see the sun. And candles. We needed candles. We caught fireflies. Slept in sunbeds. There is never enough light. We covered the floor with tea lights. An obstacle course of tiny flames flickering our every footsteps, licking at our souls. There is never enough light. How are we doing on that? Candles. We caught fireflies, slept in sunbeds. Candles. We needed candles. Candles. We needed candles. We caught fireflies, slept in sunbeds. There is never enough light. Thank you very much, folks. I hope you feel illuminated. And this is heavy. By day we make decisive turns, recombine when divided. We draw lines between the eras, irretrievably cut off. We're troubled, and we're talented. We're honest, and we're dangerous. We're more or less indifferent to our suffering, becoming numbing. We need a distance. I feel the same, brother. We need a program for the crisis, an approach to the anxiety, the technologies that provide, or the platforms for collectiveness impress on us the consequences of lacking empathy and understanding, the total perspective, distance. We need a distance. Us, won't consume us, what facilitates us won't confuse us, what makes us won't break us, what heals us won't reject us, what powers us won't consume us, what facilitates us won't confuse us, what makes us won't break us, what heals us won't reject us, what powers us won't consume us, what facilitates us won't confuse us, what makes us won't break us. 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 Ladies and gentlemen, that was Here Comes the Dust. A little interlude. Please, gentlemen, have a great day. I have 2 hours left. No, 15 minutes left, something like that. Right, back to the Only Emperor. Hashtag, like and subscribe, etc., etc. This is South of Somewhere. At sunrise, a damp bright sky wipes across London, its boroughs, corners, squares. You are south of somewhere, you walk across the Thames. It doesn't matter which bridge. To the scent of coffee and peanuts and pot, your nostrils sting and flare. You are south of somewhere. You know it in your bones, you know it in your heart, and you know it in your lungs. As you breathe in that London air, you are south of somewhere. A grey soft breeze on a rail, a vehicle to hug that floats by. You kick, smash, Corona bottle, lying, rotting in the gutter. It's hard to bear being south of somewhere, where towers loom over a million bags, rubbish bags, shopping bags, sleeping bags. You can't help but stare. South of somewhere, you know it in your bones, you know it in your heart, you know it in your lungs. As you breathe in that London air, you are south of somewhere. Yesterday's orange evening meets the blood orange night, a night that doesn't care if you're south of somewhere. Pigeons run through matter, rats dance on train tracks, fleas jump from dog to cat to you. Ears explode from the police car flare. You are south of somewhere. You know it in your bones, you know it in your heart, you know it in your lungs. As you breathe in that London air, you are south of somewhere. A broken escalator welcomes you, a spiked wall comforts you, a 3-second walk light holds your hand across streaming streets. It makes you want to shout and scream and of course swear. You are south of somewhere. You know it in your bones, you know it in your heart, and you know it in your lungs. As you breathe in that London air, you are south of somewhere. You know it in your bones, you know it in your heart, and you know it in your lungs. As you breathe in that London air, you are south way south of somewhere. Thank you very much, folks. Our time together has almost come to an end. I have 2 more songs for you. And so please welcome Mr. Charles Makowski.
There's no pace, there's no quickness in his lines. There's no life, there's no sunlight.
Thank you very much.
When you write, your words must go like this. Bim bim bim, bim bim bim, bim bim bim, bim bim bim. Each line must be full of a delicious little juice, flavor. They must be full of power. They must make you like to turn a page. Bim bim bim.
Don't try if you lie, so no juice or vim. Break bottle on bar, grab the jagged rim. Drink the last drop, no matter how grim. Life is fine, fine as wine if poured to the brim. Tear up stools and tables, don't go to the gym. Punch the whole body, torso and limb. Recite a dirty limerick, not prayer or hymn. Roll the dice, bet on the horse, no matter how slim. Bim bim bim, bim bim bim, bim bim bim, bim bim bim. The world's easiest chorus. Bim bim bim, bim bim bim, bim bim bim, bim bim bim. Hang with lies and thieves, the crazy and the dim. Swindle the dumb and the rich, the proper and prim. Don't trust men called Adam, Charles or Jim. Don't trust women called Eve, Linda or Kim. Don't use pebbles, find bottle caps to skim. Don't start waving, no one cares if you drown or swim. Give in to every desire, craving and win. Speak plain, speak true, no flowery synonym. Bim bim bim, 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 bim bim bim. Have you got it yet? Bim bim bim, bim bim bim. Be proud of who you are, your name, yourself. Don't use a pseudonym. And never, ever think you're any worse or better than them, or her, or him. Bim, bim, bim. 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 Read on, Charles. Ladies and gentlemen, our time is almost over. I feel very connected right now to Westfield, which is an hour and a half on buses for me, but I've managed to make it here anyway. Thank you so much for listening. I have one more song. Please do check me out online. The Only Emperor. My last song is Living and Dying on the Edge. You and I walk along a cliff edge, enjoy the sea breeze, the gull calls, and that crumbling line between life and death. We pass a couple making love, their bodies one among the grass and stones, and then together they roll off the cliff edge. We pass two friends arguing about religion and politics and the world, their spat words and twisted faces mirroring the others. They come to blows. One pushes and one grabs, and both together they go over the cliff edge. We reach the peak, the furthest, highest point. My friend, you ask, is it time? I say yes. And we jump, we pass a stranger reading today's paper, hand tearing at the corners, eyes bulging left and right and up and down. They read of death and coupons, taxes and coupons, the weather and coupons, and they watch as person and paper blindly walk off the cliff edge. We reach the peak, the furthest, highest point. My friend, you ask, is it time? I say yes. And we jump. We pass women and men, the young and the old, the good and the bad, the beautiful and the ugly, the happy and the sad, the rich and the poor, all jumping together off the cliff edge. We reach the peak, the furthest, highest point. My friend, you ask, is it time? I say yes. And we jump, we reach the peak, the furthest, highest point. My friend, you ask, is it time? I say yes. And we jump. My friend, you ask, is it time? 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 My friend, you ask. Is it time? I say yes! And we jump! Why? Ladies and gentlemen, I've been the only emperor. Thank you so much for listening. Please check me out online. Have a lovely day. Have a lovely week. And have a lovely life. Thank you. The store isn't closing. Please do mingle. Thanks so much for listening. Thank you so much.
We're in a big crowd there.
Yeah. Can I do that? Thank you. Yeah, cheers. I'm going to take 20 minutes.